What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my post-weigh-in final thoughts live stream for UFC 312. We have Dricus du Plessis going against Strickland in a very good card. I actually like this card a lot. I think if you're a fan of violence, if you're a fan of somebody getting brutally knocked out, choked unconscious, ending up in the hospital, if that's your type of card, I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. But yeah, name value, especially on the pay-per-view, it's not great. Like, they're expecting us to pay $80 or whatever for, Rodolfo Bellato, Jimmy Crute, Jake Matthews, Francisco Prado, Talis and Teixeira, Justin Tafa. But all three of those fights are going to be fun. So if you're looking forward to, fun fights, people getting served, people getting finished, if you're a fan of violence, I think you're going to be a fan of this card. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Have a decent amount of action, some spots I'm really liking. Can't wait to break it all down with you guys. Before we get into, if you guys could please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment if you guys are watching on the replay. All that does go a long way. If you guys do want to support me more, check out dfsbythenumbers.com. That's where you'll find all my other content. And also check out Prize Picks. Use code DFSBTN. If you use that code, you'll get $50 free into your Prize Picks account when you place your first $5 lineup, whether it wins or loses. And now's a great time to sign up on Prize Picks because Sunday for the Super Bowl, they have a free square, Patrick Mahomes to get one passing yard. And I'm not the biggest fan of Patrick Mahomes in these Chiefs, but what I am a big fan of is that free square because Patrick Mahomes will get one passing yard. You got to believe. So yeah, use that code DFSBTN, get your 50 free bucks, get your free square, and have a little bit of fun for the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday here. So yeah, with all that out of the way, I say we hit up the chat. Hopefully you guys are all having a great Friday. 12 fight card coming up tomorrow. We did lose one fight and a very good fight at that. 2 Minute Barrel Park, was really looking forward to that one. I thought that was going to be very entertaining. So we're not going to be able to watch that. 2 Minute Barrel apparently had a weight cut issues, but still 12 fights, and I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. So yeah, what is up, Jacob? UFC and then the Super Bowl. Life's good, boys. Yeah, I think it's a great card on Saturday. Got the Super Bowl on Sunday. We're really looking forward to this weekend. Should be a fun weekend. We got Yitra saying, now we know why the line was so weird considering the first fight was 50-50. Somebody probably knew about Sean's staph. It seems like every week someone has staph or is already seriously injured. Yeah, I feel like the last several pay-per-views, there's been a staph scare. But this one, I don't typically look into those that much. But this one, it doesn't look that great for Strickland. But yeah, we'll see. I don't have any action in that main event, but I am going du Plessis, especially after the staff concerns. We got Tony saying, hey, Brady, hope everybody makes some cash this weekend. I love how the UFC is making the Australians get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to see the fights and then puts on a fight night quality card. Yeah, and I heard the tickets there are expensive. People are going to be paying hundreds of bucks to watch Anshul Jubilee, Colin Salkilld at 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, those Australians probably diehard fan. I bet we'll see a ton of people in there at 5 o'clock in the morning their time. We got Uncle Weezy saying, oi, what is up, Uncle Weezy? Good to see you in here. Nothing like a Jake Matthews opening 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time pay-per-view. Yeah, the main card name value is not there, but I think the excitement, the entertainment value, it is absolutely going to be there. We got Tarzan saying, oi, what is up, Tarzan? We got Jeff saying, let's get the money, fellas. Let's get it. Jeff saying Brady's out surveying the local wildlife. He'll be right back. Yeah, I was out getting a haircut. Got a haircut. It was getting bad. I was starting to look like a bum. And if you look like a bum, you're going to perform like a bum. And I want to have a good night on Saturday. I want to hit some bets. So I had to get a haircut, had to get a beard trim. And I'm hoping that goes a long way in terms of a winning night tomorrow. We got this jackass saying late. One more comment like this, I'm gonna have to take you to Wager Wars. Late? Who's late? Come on. One more comment like this, and me and you are going head to head, buddy. Anyway, you should pay attention. Let's go, Brady. Let's go. Tafa time. I believe you meant Tafa time. It could be. Vitek saying, Brady, I have a TV for you on standby when Cody Steele gets KO'd without shooting a single takedown. Yes, my smash your TV play of the week, Cody Steele by submission. If you guys want to break your TV, bet that. Yes, sir. We got Steve saying, was it just me or was Wong Kong looking like a snack at ceremonial weigh-ins? I think that was just you, but to each their own. Bruno Brazil, it has that Carol Hosa brain, just stands there allowing the fight to get away from her. Yeah, I would tend to agree. I would tend to agree there. We got Jay Bone saying, you've been a bit gents. Hope you and Wheezy been killing it, Brady. Yeah, good start to 2025. Had a massive week the first week, massive week the second week, and then a little bit of a down week last week. But yeah, looking to go out here and hopefully have a big night because I'm liking a lot of my spots. Got Travis in the building. What's up, Brady? Let's get it this week. Let's get it. We're going to miss out on 2 men in a barrel. Yeah, we're missing out on it. I thought that was a fun fight. I was looking forward to that fight, and I'm not too happy that one got canceled. I work Super Bowl, but if my 20-man parlay hits, I'm quitting. There you go. There you go. Only one man can fit in a barrel. Fight canceled. Yeah, those barrels, they're not easy to get into. Even though that guy was a flyweight, but like I said, those barrels are not easy to fit into. Okay, Ace of Spade. What's up, Brady? I pray that it's God's will for us to win this weekend. I hope so, man. I hope so. Topuria strength of schedule similar to Clash Joe. Yep. And Wong Kong and Josie and Nunez. Yum. To each their own. We all have our what do you call it? To each their own. To each their own. All right. I say we get into it. Smash the like button for me. Smash the like button for me. Just like Anshul Jubilee probably gets smashed in the first fight of the night at 5 o'clock in the morning, Australian time. We got Quinlan Salkilld going against Anshul Jubilee. So yeah, biggest favorite on the card. Salkilld opened up minus 250, which is wild. He's now minus 700. Jubilee opened up plus 210. He's currently plus 500. So I do have some bets on this fight. So yeah, I think that people are being a little bit too rough on Anshul Jubilee, because I went back and watched some of this guy's fights and even his last fight against Breeden, and I think Jubilee is actually a good fighter. I truly believe that he does have some skills. I think he's a solid striker. He can wrestle a little bit. He can grapple a little bit. I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be. And this is a wide line, but I feel like Quinlan Salkilld has all the tools in his toolbox to look minus 700, and that's going to be pushing a wrestling heavy pace, and he does that. The thing I like about Salkilld is he's a grappler, right? He's a BJJ black belt. He can strike a little bit, long rangey, but in terms of the striking between these two, I do think it's going to be close and competitive. But yeah, Salkilld on the Contender Series, he went out there and completed 9 takedowns, and I love that, especially for this fight, because if he's completing 9 takedowns here, Anshul Jubilee, I think he's going to break. I think Salkild's going to push the grappling pace. I think he's going to take him down, rinse and repeat. Jubilee's going to slow down. He's going to get tired, and I think Salkilld is going to wrap up a submission at some point in this fight. So I like that Salkilld submission plus 270, was it? Plus 270. Plus 270 for 0.75 units. And then I also sprinkled the Salkilld sub 2, sub 3. I think it was plus 1,000 round 2, plus 1,600 round 3 for a quarter unit each. And like 2, 3 in general, I think are good for Salkilld as well. Like it could be like a ground and pound TKO. I could definitely see that. But the 2, 3 in general prices aren't that enticing. I think it's like maybe plus 400 at best for round 2, plus 700 at best, maybe plus 650 for round 3. So I took the sub and the round. I think it is a sub. When he's winning fights, it is typically by sub. 43% of his wins by submission. BJJ black belt, and I just have a strong suspicion that there is going to be a massive levels difference once this fight hits the ground. And the reason I did have to play the sub without the rounds as well, because I feel like it could happen in the first round. I feel like there could be such a big grappling discrepancy that Salkilld could just sub him in round 1 as well. So I like Salkilld. I like him by sub. I think that's the best way to play him. He's a minus 700 favorite, so getting some solid value on those sub props, I think. All right. Let's see. See this guy. Are you talking about Wang Kong and Jose Nunez. I don't know. Professor Chris, yep, this line is too wide at this point. No, I agree. I agree. I think it's wide, but I can't put any money on Anshul Jubilee. I just don't know what is. I think his path, Anshul Jubilee's path to win this fight would just be Quinlan, Salkilld, just making a huge mistake, just going out there and striking for 15 minutes. But I'm just not sure that's the case. Jubilee to cry after opponent barks, minus 500. Yeah, I think he was one of the first fighters I've ever seen, borderline cry in the cage. It looked like he's about to tear up. Which, yeah, I mean, if somebody barks at you, it's a terrifying experience. Feel like some odds maker knows Salkilld personally and knows he's gonna bark. I mean, if he barks, he makes it look even easier, right? So yeah, I think Salkilld should get it done. Hence the big wide line here. Moving on. We got Kevin Jousset going against Jonathan Micallef. And we have Jousset sitting around minus 235, Micallef plus 200. And I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Jousset. Not the biggest fan of his style. I think he's boring, quite frankly. I've seen him go 25 minutes in fights multiple times. The fights were just so tough to watch. Almost fell asleep during them. He's one of those guys, kind of like a meat and potatoes type guy. He has a judo background, very technical striker, very smart striker, a little hittable, but he has good striking, kickboxing guy. And the way I'm seeing this fight is, Jonathan Micallef is just a walking punching bag, very, very hittable. Jousset is hittable. Micallef is very, very hittable. He is a tough dude, Micallef. He can take some shots, has been knocked out before, but I just kind of think this is going to be target practice here for Kevin Jousset over 15 minutes. Micallef, he will try to wrestle, will try to grapple. Not convinced he has much success, if any, taking down and holding down Jousset. I think Jousset's going to be much stronger, and I just think there's going to be a big levels difference in that striking. So I kind of just see Jousset, out striking Micallef for 15 minutes, jabbing him up, touching him up. So yeah, I like Jousset here. Do I like him at minus 135? Not particularly, but I think there are some better ways to play Jousset. I think the Jousset decision. I think the Jousset round 3 or decision. I think the same game parlay Jousset and the over 1.5. I have that in a parlay. I think that's solid. So I think that's kind of the best ways to attack this. I'm not high on this Micallef guy at all, especially in this matchup. Maybe a different matchup where I see him getting takedowns and all that, but in this fight, I don't really envision that. So yeah, it's Jousset for me, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the dude. Yeah, I mean, if Micallef is winning, right, it is probably by sub, because I don't see him winning it like a wrestling-based decision. I doubt it. I absolutely don't see him knocking out Jousset. So yeah, if he does win, it's by sub. That's not a bad line. City Kickboxing needs a win. They do. They absolutely do. Jousset looks like the poster boy from the old school bare knuckle posters. Yeah, he kind of does. Steve saying 101 people in here and only 28 likes. Don't forget to smash the like button like Wang Kong is going to smash. Bruno Brazil. Yeah, I agree. If you guys have not smashed the like button for me, please be sure to do so. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is Cody Steele going against Rongzhu. So I did post on Twitter that, this is my smash your television play of the week. If you bet this bet, you will have a good chance of smashing your TV. And the bet for this fight is Cody Steele to win by submission at plus 380. The reason being, Cody Steele, primarily a grappler. You look through his career, a million grappling matches, BJJ black belt. This guy's very slick on the ground, and he can wrestle as well. I've seen him pick guys up and slam them. Very slick when the fight gets down there. And you take a look at Rongzhu. Rongzhu can't grapple. Rongzhu's been submitted 4 times. And I think 4 of his 6 losses, he's been submitted. The takedown defense isn't great. So if Cody Steele wants to look minus 300, and Cody Steele's minus 300. Like if Cody Steele's looking minus 300, that probably means he went out there and grappled. And if he goes out there and grapples, he is going to submit Rongzhu. The problem with Cody Steele is this guy wants to go out there and swing dicks with his opponents, right? And if he does that, he could still win the fight, but it could also end very poorly. That's giving Rongzhu kind of his one path. So yeah, I think the Steele sub is the only thing I really like here. I don't mind the under 2.5 rounds at minus 150 as well. just because on the feet, both guys have a lot of power. I think this is going to be a car crash, but if Cody Steele had any fight IQ whatsoever, he's taking down Rongzhu and honestly making it look quite easy. So the smash your television play of the week, Cody Steele by sub. You're going to be yelling at the TV, Steele, what are you doing? Take this guy down. Why are you striking with him? Why are you swinging dicks with Rongzhu? What are you doing, Cody Steele? What are you doing? What are you doing? Something like that. Something like that. So yeah, Cody Steele by sub, half a unit. I don't want to go more than half a unit, but yeah, plus 380. Can't pass that up. Bad week to bet. I mean, for money lines, I'd agree. I think a lot of these fights are tough to call. I think there's a lot of fights where they can really go either way. So I don't have any money line bets this week. And there's not a ton of fighters I feel that great about in terms of parlaying them either. Like I like Salkilld, but he's minus 700. I like Wang, but he's minus 400. I like Jake Matthews, but I don't like him at minus 240. I like Gabriel Santos, but I don't like him at minus 240. Yeah, I do think it's a tough week to bet money lines, but I think there's a ton of props sticking out. Max saying yes, let's get those likes up, guys. Do appreciate it. Placing the Steele by I mean, I think it's a great bet. Rongzhu can't grapple. Steele, legit BJJ black belt. But there's also a really strong chance he doesn't even try, which would be annoying, but just get ready to smash your TV. Smash your TV. And yeah, Chin does have a solid point here, right? I think Steele was swinging dicks on the Contender Series to get that contract from Dana, which is a really good point because, Dana wants people to go out there and he doesn't want people to hump legs for 15 minutes. So yeah, maybe Steele does come in here with a solid game plan, and that solid game plan would be to grapple this guy. So yeah, good point there. With that said, though, I have seen in multiple fights where grappling really wasn't in the game plan, but it should be here. Like, you don't want to swing dicks with Rongzhu. You don't want to swing dicks with this guy. You just don't. Love Steele this weekend. I don't mind him myself. Appreciate the content and research. No problem. Appreciate you hanging out on a Friday evening. Jeff saying, was there any weight misses? No, there was no weight misses. Rongzhu kind of gave us a scare. I was up late waiting for Rongzhu to weigh in. He finally did. He made weight. He looked good. Didn't come in there with that terrible pink hair, which was nice. And I guess 2 Minute in a Barrel missed weight. Missed it so bad that he didn't even step on the scale, so he'd be the one. Yeah, if you're a fan of, dick swinging, you're going to be a fan of this card. I think we're going to have a bunch of dick swinging on Saturday. I think Cody Steele, Rongzhu are going to swing dicks. I think Kong Wong's going to swing her dick around in there against Bruno Brasil. Bellato, Crute are going to swing dicks. Tafa, Teixeira are going to swing dicks. If you're a fan of dicks swinging, flying around, you're going to love this card. You're going to love this card. Thicknesse is a top tier last name. That it is. Gary saying he has one sub and barely had any in his grappling matches, mostly decision wins. He ain't grappling. His MMA grappling isn't great. Yeah, we'll see. We haven't really seen it, right? But what I can assure you, Gary, is his MMA grappling is 50 times better than Rongzhu's is kind of what I'm saying. And with that sub, we could see like a club and sub as well, like in the Bahamondes fight. We saw Bahamondes piecing up Rongzhu. Rongzhu shot in for a sloppy takedown and got his neck snatched up. We could see something like that as well. So I don't know if we can say his MMA grappling isn't great. Is his fight IQ great? No, not really, but we'll see if he uses it here. I'm still trying to just figure out if I'm going to play Steele by sub and Jousset by decision. I think both are solid looks. I'm on both in one way or another. Wasn't Tafa a pound over 260? Yeah, so the limit is 260. He can go up to 266. I think Tafa was one of the very few heavyweight fighters to ever miss weight before. Tafa has missed weight. My dong isn't big enough to sing. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Every fight on this card should be entertaining. I would agree. I don't think there's going to be a boring fight, quite frankly. Like if I had to pick the most boring fight, I don't know. Like maybe the Jousset fight, but even I think Micallef is going to make it like interesting and entertaining. Yeah, Brazil is up a weight class. We'll touch on that. Can't wait to talk about the Jimmy Crute fight. Jousset over 1.5. Yeah, I like that one over Jousset and the over 1.5. I think get that Jousset money line down because Micallef, he's hittable, but I think he's tough to hang in there. All right, moving on to the next fight. Love this fight. I love this fight. I love it. It's sketchy. It's a sketchy fight, but we have Alexandre Topuria going against Colby Thicknesse And we got Topuria opened up minus 250. He went down to minus 550. He's now back to minus 330. Thicknesse opened up plus 210, went up to plus 400, and went back down to plus 255. A lot of money has came in on Colby Thicknesse. I remember seeing him at plus 400, and I was joking to Wheezy. I was like 5 units on Thicknesse at plus 400 to win like 20 units. But joking, right? But man, this is a fight where there's just a ton of missing information, especially on the Topuria side. With Topuria, we really don't know anything about him. What I do know, though, is this guy's fought 3 times in the last 10 years. He's fought the worst level of competition I've ever seen in my entire life. We're talking worse than Jordan Wright's competition back in Alaska FC. We're talking probably 20 times worse than that. The worst competition I've ever seen. A 100% finish rate all in the first round. The one time we saw him outside of the first round, completely death-gassed, looked awful. That fight was 10, 11 years ago at this point. So we just don't know a ton about Topuria. Besides what people are kind of saying. And, you know, people are hyping him up. Topuria, you know, his brother's hyping him up. Rob's hyping him up. But, yeah, you're going to hype up your guys, right? You're not going to say this guy sucks, right? So can't really take that much into account. And I know people are, and that's why the line's where it's at. But kind of how I'm seeing this fight is I think there's a very strong chance that Topuria goes out there and murks this guy, you know, makes it look easy. You know, we see Thicknesse just lying down on the canvas, unconscious. Topuria gains some hype and moves on. But if this fight reaches the second round, I think it's going to start to get very, very interesting because I think Topuria is going to absolutely sell out for this finish. And like I said, we haven't seen him in there. We haven't seen him in that second round. And I have a feeling if this fight hits the second round, the 7.5 minute mark especially, we're going to see Topuria really, really start to slow down, could potentially gas out. And I think these Thicknesse late props are very much in play. So I like a couple spots here. So something is wrong here. So the Topuria money line was like minus 500. It's minus 330 now. I don't get why the under 1.5 is plus money. I just don't understand that. The reason being is if Topuria is minus 330 to minus 400 to win the fight, you got to imagine he's sparking this guy in the first round, right? First 7.5 minutes especially. Why is the under plus money, but Topuria is such a big favorite? I don't get that. So, like I said, I think Topuria round 1 is the most likely scenario. It could be a sub. It could be a knockout. It could be a club and sub. Colby Thicknesse has no striking defense, questionable chin. So yeah, I think Topuria by first round, whatever, is in play. I think the under is in play. But if this fight hits the second round, I think Thicknesse is super, super live. So what I did, I put 2 units on the under 1.5 at plus 110. And then I also sprinkled the Thicknesse 2-3 props at astronomical numbers. Plus 3,000 for round 2, plus 3,300 for round 3, quarter unit on each. And if one of these hits, it's going to be a party at Brady's. But yeah, Topuria, like I said, I think Topuria probably finishes this dude. But if Thicknesse can last for 5 to 7.5, I think Thicknesse is very, very live to win this fight. So we'll see. Phenomenal fight, violent fight. I'd be very surprised if this fight somehow went 15 minutes. I think somebody's getting served, whether it's Topuria early or Thicknesse late. Let's see. Wait, Tafa did not. Does Teixeira have a wig? I could see it. Worried that Steele is this week's Bashi. So Steele went against, or Bashi went against Christian Rodriguez, and Steele's going against Rongzhu. I just think there's a massive difference in the opponent, but I kind of get what you're saying. Same was saying, happy Friday, Brady. I can see a lot of finishes on this card. Zhang versus Tatiana should be competitive. Yeah, happy Friday to you as well. And I think there's going to be a lot of finishes myself. Looking forward to it. Shout out Melissa checking in from X. She says, it's the weekend, guys. Available for hookup. If you guys are looking to hook up with Melissa on a Friday night, go check her out. Melissa Cantu, check her out. She is available tonight for hookup. Shout out to Melissa. Thank you for stopping by. Hot Boy, hey Weezy, if the last thing that goes is the power, what's the first thing to go? The reflexes. Asking Weezy, what is the first thing to go? Under 2 rounds is a lock. I don't like the word lock, but I would tend to be with you there. Cody Haddon would have done awful things to this fraud. Yep. They couldn't have found anybody else to fight this guy, Topuria. They had to bring in Colby Thickness. I don't get it. I think they're really trying to set up Topuria up to have success here, and we'll see. We'll see. 3,500 G's. I got 3,300. It's massive, and if it gets to the third round, it's going to be very live. CBS Sports has an article that Topuria gave up 9 years of his career to mold his brother's career. Okay. That'd be awfully weird, but I don't know. His Thickness of butt guy. I don't, maybe. Melissa's in the wrong. No, she's in the right live stream. I mean, nothing wrong with, wanting to hang out on a Friday night. Hey, Brady, what is up there? Hey, bro, any ideas if Topuria is on the same sort of level as his brother? I highly doubt it, which doesn't mean he can't finish Colby Thickness, right? But we see it time and time again. These brothers come in here, and one's phenomenal, and one's just awful. I mean, Gilbert Burns, Herbert Burns, right? We see it time and time again. Justin Tafa, Junior Tafa. Oh, we can go, so on and so forth. But yeah, I would doubt it, but he could still win here. What's up, Muhammad? Good to see you in here. Rumor was Topuria can't pick Thickness for this fight. I wouldn't doubt that rumor. Yeah, nowhere near. I don't think anywhere near. I would be fairly shocked. I didn't see what she looked like. I have to go, check it out. I don't know how she got on here. I don't know how she found this stream. I don't follow her. At least you wouldn't hope not. Oh, that's a great example. Muhammad Usman. Not great. Not great. All right. Yep, we've seen it time and time again. Topuria could be a Herbert Burns, right? Topuria could be very dangerous early and then can't get up off the stool. We just don't know. All right. We got okay, let's just move on. We got Kong Wang going against Bruna Brasil. We got Kong Wang, I believe the second biggest favorite on the card, minus 360. Bruna Brasil plus 285. So yeah, initially maybe thought Bruna Brasil might be a little bit live here. The more I kind of thought about the fight throughout the week, the more I think that it's, this should be Wang Kong pretty much all day. Bruna Brasil's coming up a weight class for literally no reason. I don't get it. I'm not sure why she's coming up to flyweight. She doesn't even look that massive for strawweight, so I don't get that. I don't like that. And then I went back and watched Bruna Brasil, and it's like, I think she's a decent striker, but there's a massive levels difference in that striking. Kong Wang is going to just have a field day on the feet. And then you talk about the grappling, and yeah, Brazil was able to have some success against Molly McCann. She looked good. Is she going to be able to do that here? We'll have to see if she does. Maybe she is live. Maybe she can win some minutes. But I kind of think these two are going to strike. And when they do on the feet, like I said, Kong Wang, I think she's a level above Bruna Brasil. And I also think Brasil is a little bit chinny. I don't think she likes getting hit. I don't like how she's reacting to punches. And I think Kong Wang is going to hit her in the face very, very hard. So the more I kind of thought about it, the more I think Kong Wang is probably going to knock out Bruna Brasil here. So I'm on that for a half a unit plus 270. Don't mind the, some sort of violence as well. Maybe Bruna Brasil could get this fight down to the mat, find a sub, but I kind of think it's Kong Wang just going out there and making this look quite easy. But yeah, I get the Brazil dog shot. She's a big dog. In theory, she does have a path. The more I thought about it, the more I think these two are going to strike, and Kong Wang covers her price tag there. Brazil by decision plus 600. Yeah, I mean, the path could be there. If she wrestles, if she grapples, the more I looked into it, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Jeez, the chat's moving here. The Millers, the Guidas, the Lozons, yes, we can go all day. But the Herbert Burns is. I'm hoping Topuria looks like Herbert Burns, and I cash a thickness 2-3 prop. Jeez. That'd be very nice. Very nice. Yeah, we're going to see Walter Walker fight next week, actually, against Dontel Mays. That should be hilarious. Oh, Bad Figgy. Yeah, Topuria could look like Bad Figgy, who was very bad. He was very bad. Very, very bad. Yep, down with the thickness. Let's go. Bruno Brazil. Yep, she is. She's very cheap. In theory, she has some grappling upside. If she wins, it's going to be the takedowns, the control time. I get it. Yeah, we're going to see both Bonfim Bros next week, actually. They're going to have to be on the same card next week, which is going to be very nice. Yeah, believe it or not, Dontel Mays is actually in the UFC. Actually in the UFC. Did I hear Volkanovski trains with Colby? Yeah, you heard that. You heard that correctly. They do train with each other. And it was actually hilarious. Somebody commented on my video and said that there are rumors that Volkanovski just sparks Colby Thicknesse and knocks him out all the time. And I just started laughing my ass off because I can that would be hilarious. But yeah, apparently they do train with each other, and the rumor has it some dude said that Volkanovski KOs this guy. So we'll see. Hamdi Abdulwahab versus Prime Ngannou. Who wins? I think Hamdi's absolutely awful, and I can't wait to fade him next fight. Sam Alvey's is he coming back? Where is he coming back to? Where's he coming back to? What's up, Brady? Who's your favorite DFS play this week? I'll say Dricus. I think Dricus. All right. Let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is Slava Borshchev going against Tom Nolan. Closely lined fight here. We got Tom Nolan like minus 105, Slava minus 115. I don't have much on this fight. I think there's a couple fights on this card where, they're very tough to call, can kind of go either way. And this is one of them for me. I don't trust either one of these guys. I don't trust the chin, the durability, but I do think they're going to go out there. They're going to swing dicks. They're going to measure dicks, and I think it's all going to come down to who has said bigger dick. And I like violence here. I parlayed the fight ends by knockout at minus 175. That's kind of the only thing I do like here. Like I said, I don't trust Borshchev's chin, getting killed by Sadikov, getting dropped by Chase Hooper. I don't trust Nolan's chin getting dropped by that bum Victor Martinez. See, I think somebody's getting knocked out here. Who gets knocked out? I'm not sure. But I like the fight ends by KO, and that's all I have on this fight here. I love violence in general, but the fight doesn't goes like minus 325. The under 2.5 is like minus 2 something. But I think that fight ends by KO does hold some value. I'd be surprised if there was a sub here. If there was a sub, it would be Nolan, but I kind of think they're just going to swing dicks. Brazil will 100% grapple. Brazil by sub plus 1,400. A lot of Brazil love. Could see it. Was hoping the Dricus line would be closer to make more money on him. Yeah, I was hoping to. We got Bryce Mitchell in the chat. fake Bryce Mitchell. Sam Alvey is coming back to Karate. There we go. Sub B, the nerd angle worth a dart, being available for hookups says, yeah, shout out Melissa. If you're looking to hook up Friday night, got nothing to do, Melissa will help you out. But yeah, the fighting nerd angle, I'll tell you what. You know who else is a fighting nerd? Mara Bueno Silva, and she looked like complete ass last week. So just because you're a fighting nerd doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden very good, because Mara Bueno Silva looked like ass last week. Hamdi has 2 restaurants. I could see it. He's not a serious fighter. He's doing this to promote his restaurants and online presence. Hamdi, really? Is he? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's a great mixed martial artist. Thought his performance against Pose was terrible. I can see Nolan trying to grapple because Borshchev is terrible on the ground. Yeah, he should try to grapple. Borshchev has the worst takedown defense I've ever seen. Gust of wind can take him down. So, but I'm not sure he will try. We got Ichiro vouching for Melissa, saying Melissa has been very good to me in the past. Okay. Highly recommend. Tell her right. Okay. Tell her, if you guys hit up Melissa, tell her Vitro sent you. There you go. Hamdi's hamburgers. Oh, I bet he does make some good burgers, though. I bet he does make some good burgers. Bueno Silva is a rare bird. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Saudis had something going on over there. Several fighters had health issues from the fresh paint in the locker room. All losers, though. Yeah, I heard that as well. McKinney talked about it. Mike Davis talked about it. And even one fighter was hospitalized from it. Lucas Alexander, he was hospitalized from that paint. And I don't think anybody's talking about it enough. Like that's very bad. But nobody's like saying anything about it besides the fighters. I don't think anybody cares, which is weird because people should be caring because that's awful. They looked sick. Yeah, some fighters looked very, very off. Lucas Alexander, round 2. Mike Davis looked off from the jump. Yeah. Bueno Silva looks sick. Over under Melissa. Yeah, Melissa will be pulling guard. I'm sure. I'm sure she'll be pulling guard. Who do you got in the Super Bowl? To be honest, Samuel, I don't really care. I'm gonna be rooting for my parlay. I'm gonna cook up a nice parlay. Last year I hit a nice parlay. It was like $25 to win like 500. I'll be rooting for my parlay. In terms of who am I rooting for, I could care less. Who am I picking? I probably think it's the Chiefs winning. But I'll be rooting for my parlay. Yeah, just make some money, hang out with family and friends. I don't care who wins. This is not a sauna. I do have a sauna, but this is not it. And I can't do a video in my sauna. The sauna, it's hot, it's bad for the electronics. So no, I'm not in a sauna. I'm not in a sauna. Not in the sauna. All right, let's move on. Move on to the next fight. It is Gabriel Santos going against Jack Jenkins. Don't have much interest here. I think the line is about right, if not a little too wide here. Santos, I think the striking exchanges will be competitive. I like Jack striking. I like the leg kicks especially. Santos has, flashy striking, a lot of power. I just think where Santos is going to win this fight primarily is going to be with the grappling, the wrestling, and he's a willing wrestler, good wrestler as well. The times I have seen Jack Jenkins taken down, kind of stuck on his back, not really able to get up. So I'm kind of thinking it's Santos, a wrestling-based decision. But yeah, this fight could be close. It could be competitive. We're in Australia. This fight is probably going into the hands of the crooked, corrupt judges, and we've seen Jack Jenkins win a fight that he's lost before. So don't know if I love the price on Santos, but in terms of a pick, I'll pick him to win. I think he gets takedowns. I think he gets control time. I think the striking's fun, competitive. So Santos by decision's my pick, but nothing is really sticking out from a betting perspective. Yeah. So those saunas, they're nice, man. Those saunas are very nice. It's nice to sit in the sauna, relax, maybe put on a podcast. Maybe listen to some music in the sauna as well. Nothing's wrong with the sauna, man. Santos looks tall and young. I can see him being more bouncy, get in and out, punching. Bryce Mitchell. Yeah, and like I said, I think the wrestling would be the best path here. Melissa's a big sauna fan. Yeah, Melissa's a fan of a lot of things, I think. A lot of things. All right. So yeah, nothing for the Santos Jenkins fight for me. Let's move on to the next fight. I got to be careful pulling up comments because we got Bryce Mitchell in the chat. Be careful, Bryce. And by the way, Bryce, I have to yell at you about something. How are you about to say that seatbelts are bad? I can't. You've said a lot of terrible things, Bryce. You've said a lot of awful things, Bryce. But how are you about to say that seatbelts are bad, right? Like seatbelts, they protect you. Seatbelts, they save lives. How are you about to say that you're not a fan of seatbelts? And we can go on and on about some of the things you've said, Bryce. A lot of people are very, very upset with you, but seatbelts, come on. Got Colton really, really upset. Colton's really upset with me. He's gonna F the S out of me. Very upset. So let's calm down. Let's calm down a little bit. All right, moving on to the next fight. We have Rodolfo Bellato going against Jimmy. Well, we don't. We have Jake Matthews going against Francisco Prado. Got a little bit ahead of myself because I'm so excited for the return of Jimmy Crute. But yeah, Jake Matthews, Francisco Prado, nothing much standing out here. Jake Matthews minus 240, Prado plus 205. I do think Matthews has all the tools to win this fight, win it by decision via the wrestling. The problem with Jake Matthews is he is fairly inconsistent. Sometimes he shows up, looks really good. Sometimes he shows up, looks really bad. Sometimes he comes in there with, not a great game plan. But yeah, I mean, Prado, we've seen him taken down against Jamie Malarkey, held down, didn't have much of an answer off of his back. And Prado's coming up a weight class as well, which I don't love. Maybe it'll be good for him, but I don't love. But yeah, laying minus 240 on Jake Matthews, it just doesn't sound like the best idea. If anything, I think the finish only on Prado is kind of interesting at plus money, just due to the fact that Prado has a 100% finish rate, half by knockout, half by sub. And when Jake Matthews is losing, it is typically by finish. And even Matthew Semmelsberger dropped the guy several times. So yeah, I think Prado finish only would be the only bet I would really consider in this fight, but haven't bet anything on it yet. Let's see. Shar Bullet retires from MMA to take job as a cast member for the Pirates of Caribbean. Yeah, I did. I saw somebody was saying like he retired. I'm almost certain it was a joke, but I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore, especially on Twitter. There's so much fake news on Twitter. It's sickening. It's absolutely sick. I don't know what to believe. All right. Is this Uncle Wheezy's burner? Wheezy, I'm sorry. I was in Wheezy's chat the other day and said late. I guess he didn't take it too kindly. So I think this might be Uncle Wheezy's burner account. Calm down. We got a show that we got to get ready for tomorrow or on Sunday. Calm down, Uncle Wheezy. He says you're getting piped on site, son. And I've heard the term getting piped before. And what getting you want to pipe me? You want to pipe me? Doesn't getting piped mean like he wants to have sex with me? Like what? You want to have sex with me on site? Colton G, whoever you are sick. You are sick, sick, sick. Colton G wants to have sex with me. You are sick, 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 sick. If you want to have sex, go hit up Melissa. She's free all night. But me, I'm not having sex with you, Colton G. That's the last thing I'm doing. That's the last thing I'm doing, Colton G. I'm not having sex with you. So get out of here with that. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Matthews by decision, no value on DraftKings. Yeah, I'm fading Matthews on DraftKings. I think it's Matthews by decision. Right? And Melissa's out here, promoting and working, and he wants to have sex with me. Why do you want to have sex with me? I don't get it. Cody Steele to shave the candy ass of Rongzhu. Gamble irresponsibly. Hopefully he does it by sub. What are we saying? It's on site. It's on site. Oh, geez. Yeah. Some people are sick, and Colton G, I think he's one of the sickest bastards I've ever seen. I've been on this earth for 26 years. I don't think anybody's ever said that they want to pipe me on site. That is sick. That quite frankly, that's concerning. That is concerning. I think you need to get yourself into therapy, Colton G. I think you need to see a specialist. I think you need to get some help. You know what I might do? I might start a GoFundMe, and we'll get you some help. We'll put you in a facility, and because to say that to somebody, you got to be a sick, sick man. A sick, sick man to say you want to pipe somebody on site. You are sick. You are sick, Colton G. You are absolutely sick. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Francisco Prado is going to win. Yeah, like I said, I don't mind that finish only. It's plus money, 100% finish rate. I don't mind that. And we got H. Is that a B? HB Comer? Oi, what is up? Good to see you. At least it's not. At least it's not, man. That'd be even worse. Yeah, where is my moderator? Where is my moderator? Where is Dix Insider? Where is Dix Insider? What is Dix Insider doing? I don't know where my moderator's at. But yeah, one more outburst out of Colton, and he might be put in a timeout. We'll see. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the main event. We got Rodolfo Bellato going against the return of Jimmy Crute. He is back after a short retirement. And I'm really looking forward to this fight. So Jimmy Crute has caused me a lot of pain in the past. A lot of pain in the past. You know, I've lost my fair share of money on Jimmy Crute. But I'm looking at this matchup and it's like, you know, skill for skill. I think Jimmy Crute's the much more skilled fighter. Jimmy Crute, really, I think this is either the first or the second time he's ever an underdog in the UFC, which is crazy to think about because this guy's fought Paul Craig. This guy's fought Jamal Hill. He's like minus 180 against Jamal Hill. Anthony Smith, when Anthony Smith wasn't completely washed. He was like minus 200 against Anthony Smith. And now he's an underdog to Rodolfo Bellato. And I think a lot of that has to do with the retirement, right? Like where is Jimmy Crute? He retired, you know, where is he at mentally? He hasn't won a fight in probably 5 years. I get that, but skill for skill, I think it's a close fight. I think there's value on Jimmy Crute. Both these guys, and we can see it here, both these guys are walking punching bags. Both these guys have the worst striking defense imaginable, 44%. I don't think I've seen striking defense that low, to be honest. And they both have it. They both have it. And with Bellato kind of just walks forward, hands down, eat one to give one. And I think that's going to lead towards some violence. Sorry, the chat's just saw something sick in the chat. We'll get to it. Anyway, I like violence here. I'm on the fight won't start round 3 for 1.5 units at minus 132. I love that spot. The reason I'm not going bigger is because it's a Jimmy Crute fight, and he's piped me a couple times. Yeah, Jimmy Crute's piped me a couple times in terms of betting, of course. Just completely screwing me, you know, time and time again. I've lost so much money on Jimmy Crute. But yeah, I love violence. Both guys hittable. Both guys walking punching bags. Both guys power. Both guys black belts. I think somebody gets served here violently. I love the fight doesn't go. I love the under 2.5. I love the fight won't start round 3. So yeah, give me violence here. And then also, I like, clip it. Jimmy Crute has fucked me many times in the past. He's done it. He did it in the Hill fight. He fucked me in the Hill fight. He fucked me in the Anthony Smith fight. When else? Oh, he fucked me in the first Menafield fight. I had the under 1.5. The fight somehow goes 15. So yeah, Jimmy Crute's fucked me. Clip it all you want. He's done it. It's on record. He's done it many times. But what I also like is Jimmy Crute inside the distance. I got it at plus 400 for half a unit. I saw it at plus 440. And I was going to bet the Jimmy Crute money line. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, I like Crute to win the fight as a dog. And geez, I love the fight doesn't go. Instead of betting Jimmy Crute at plus 120, why don't I take his inside the distance at plus 400? And you can see it here. Bellato's been finished in both of his losses. 2 knockout losses, both by Petrino. But he borderline got finished by Ihor Potieria. The ref should have stopped that fight. Bellato was unconscious, getting his head slammed off the canvas, and the ref didn't stop. Bellato borderline has been knocked out 3 times, right? So, yeah, I think Crute's very live to find a finish. I think Bellato is very live to fight and finish. Neither guy's lost a decision. 6 losses, all by finish. I think this is one of the most violent fights on the card, and the violence numbers aren't even that bad. So, yeah, Fight won't start round 3. I've got the under 2.5 in a parlay. I got Crute inside the distance for a half unit shot. We'll see what happens. Give me some violence here. All right, what do you guys liking in the chat here? Jimmy Crute getting piped on site. Somebody in this fight's getting piped. I think somebody in this fight is getting piped. We got John. It's funny, unlike most of 2024, a lot of fights on this card look like legit under opportunities, even the chick fights. I would agree, dude. I would agree. Jimmy Crute looks like Theo Vaughn on crack. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Jimmy Crute looks like Joe Dirt if you drew him from memory. I would tend to agree. We got Tim. ESPN Bet has a boosted parlay. Okay, let's hear it. Tatiana swears by sub. Dricus to win. And over 2.5 rounds. Boosted from plus 620 to plus 750. I like that. I don't mind that. That's I'm picking both outcomes. Oh, Uncle Weezy is a moderator. Weezy, what are you doing, dude? Colton G's threatening to have sex with me, and you're letting him just say that? He said he supports Colton G's right to verbally harass me. Colton isn't doing anything to Brady that Crute hasn't already. Oh, gosh. That's true. That is so true. 100. Yeah, this is absolutely 100 game, bro. I totally agree. Crute wears Crocs. Can't be true. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Crocs, and I would never wear them. But you know, to each their own. To each their own. There he is. Dixon, where have you been, dude? We had Melissa come in here and I don't know what she was trying to get people to have some fun tonight. I don't know what she was doing. And then we had this dude named Colton saying some of the worst things imaginable to me. Dixon, where have you been, dude? Where have you been? Can somebody ban this guy? Dixon, can you ban this guy? At least put him in a timeout. Can you at least put this guy in a timeout or something? Said you want a couple of homies finna pipe me? I'm actually getting scared at this point. Should I call the authority? Like that? This is a legit threat. I've gotten a couple threats since I've started YouTube, but this is a legitimate threat. A legitimate threat. I absolutely don't want to be piped from you or your big homies, Colton. So Dixon Cider, for the love of God, let's put this guy in a timeout. Jeez. There we go. That's my mod. That's my mod right there. Right there. 1 minute. Absolutely. All right. Let's move on to the next fight here. We got Taliesin Teixeira going against Justin Tafa. And yeah. Yep. This is another fight where who wins? I don't know. These guys are just going to stand and bang, man. Taliesin Teixeira is massive, though. He's 6'7" with an 83-inch reach. He's huge, right? Justin Tafa, big reach, big height disadvantage. But Taliesin Teixeira is very hittable. He has tall man's defense. He is willing to eat one to give one. And you can't do that at heavyweight. You can't do that at light heavyweight. He's willing to eat one to give one. In his fight against, I forget his name, Arthur, whatever. Arthur was landing some big shots on Teixeira. And yeah, Teixeira was eating them. But Arthur's like a light heavyweight, ballooned up to heavyweight. Justin Tafa cuts to get to heavyweight. Justin Tafa's missed the heavyweight limit. If you are eating one to give one against Justin Tafa, you're going to go to the hospital. So I think somebody's getting knocked out here. I think somebody's getting knocked out in round 1. Taliesin Teixeira has never seen the second round. Justin Tafa, 3 or 4 UFC wins, all have been in the first round. I think these guys are going to stand and bang until one man falls. I like the under. I'm on it for 2 units at -160. I was I was literally expecting to see the under 1.5 in this fight at like minus 400. And they actually did open up the under at minus 450. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But money poured in on the over. Like, I don't get that. I think this fight finishes. I like the under 1.5. I parlayed the under 1.5 in a 4-leg parlay. I played the under 1.5 straight. And then I also saw a spot that stuck out. And it is Taliesin Teixeira buy sub. Taliesin Teixeira buy sub. It opened up at plus 1,500. It's now plus 1,100. I put a quarter unit on it, and here's why. Dude, I mean, if Taliesin Teixeira grapples here, it's probably one of the biggest grappling advantages in UFC history. Taliesin Teixeira is a black belt. Justin Tafa, I don't think he's ever trained grappling in his entire life. We saw his brother get insta-tapped with a heel hook in his last fight. Like, if Taliesin Teixeira gets on top, he is tapping out Justin Tafa. So for the sub to be at plus 1,100, I think it's worth just a quarter unit shot, because I do feel like Teixeira's going to go out there and stand with this guy. But if he decides, hey, why not take down Justin Tafa, who has no ground game? Why not take this guy down? Put my black belt to use. Teixeira is subbing him, right? So yeah, I think the sub for like a quarter unit sprinkle is not a bad look. At plus 1,100, can't go wrong. But ultimately, I like the under. I think the under's solid. All right. Jeez, man. Jeez. The chat. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Some of these comments are just they're in such poor taste that I just can't pull up like 70, 80% of these comments. Like, Loca Man shakes fist. I'm not pulling your comment up, but just know that is one of the most sick comments I think I've ever read in my entire life. And I've seen some sick comments, but that is one of the most sick comments I've ever seen. I'm not pulling it up. Cody Crowder. It's a sick comment. These are just sick comments. Toasted. That's a sick comment. I legitimately can't find a comment in the chat right now to pull up. I can't pull up any of these comments. This is a comment I can pull up and discuss for the show. Does Zhang get a takedown? I don't think it'd be wise for her to wrestle, but maybe, later in the fight, sure. Maybe she later in the fight, sure. Early on, I don't think it'd be wise to wrestle. It's the sauna making it. It's actually the lighting. I don't know how to fix that. I fired my camera and lighting guy, but it's the lighting that's making it look so shiny and bright. Jonathan Edwards, a comment I can pull up and discuss. I just got in here, but how do you have Jimmy Brute Crute winning? Probably by knockout, but I know Uncle Weezy got in on the sub prop at a massive number. Jimmy Crute's a black belt. Could see a club and sub. I got him by finish. I don't think this fight goes 15. I flattered? No, I'm actually terrified. Jeez. Agreed. See what you did, Melissa? You see what you did? Melissa? You caused this. Melissa. Everything was fine until your bitch ass came in here promoting whatever you were promoting. But whatever you're promoting, quite frankly, is illegal. It's illegal in most states. Melissa, get some help. Melissa Cantu, get some help. I don't care if it's the weekend. I don't care what day it is. Nobody's hooking up with you. I don't care. So yeah, this is all Melissa's fault. This is all Melissa's fault. All right, moving on to the next fight. We got Tatiana Suarez going against Zhang Weili. We got Tatiana Suarez is now minus 134. This line is flipped, and money's pouring in on Tatiana. Zhang Weili currently plus 114. So this is a fight where, from a money line standpoint, I know a lot of people are betting either side. I've seen a ton of people say, Zhang Weili is a lock. I've seen a ton of people say, Tatiana Suarez is a lock. For me, in terms of betting a money line, especially now, I have no interest. Tatiana Suarez, if I could have got her at plus money, sure. Minus 134, no. But I don't want to bet on Tatiana Suarez because I don't want to bet against Zhang Weili. On the flip side, I don't want to bet Zhang Weili because I don't want to bet against Tatiana Suarez. I don't want to bet against either of these fighters. With that said, though, I did bet on one of these fighters against one of these fighters, and I have the Tatiana Suarez by sub prop. I think that's the best way to play her. I think Tatiana Suarez 1-2-3, Tatiana Suarez by sub, I think are solid looks this week because I think Tatiana will get takedowns. They're going to be free. They're going to be free and easy early on. Zhang Weili can be taken down by a gust of wind. We've seen Rose, Yan Xiaonan take her down with little to no resistance, and Tatiana Suarez is one of the best wrestlers we've ever seen, if not the best wrestler we've ever seen in the division, right? So yeah, Tatiana Suarez will get takedowns early on, but we have never seen Tatiana in a 4th and 5th, right? So I think if I was to play Tatiana, which I am, I like that sub prop plus 300. I like that Suarez round 1, 2, 3. And I also will be looking to potentially live bet Zhang Weili as the fight goes on. So yeah, 1 unit, Suarez sub. That's how I'm playing it. I think the sub's super live. I think there's a big levels difference in the wrestling and the grappling. I know Zhang Weili, her grapplings came a long way, but there are absolutely levels to it. And if Tatiana Suarez gets to the neck of Zhang Weili, she's going to go out or tap. So that's how I'm playing it. And then also a live bet on Weili potentially if she lasts the first 2.5 to 3 rounds. So that's what I'm looking at here. But yeah, Suarez, I'm going with Suarez. I wouldn't lay chalk on her here. I mean, if you got plus money, you did your job. I wouldn't lay chalk on her, to be honest. Minus 134. I think it's getting a little bit disrespectful at this point. All right, what are you guys liking in the chat for this fight? Yep, Strickland, he does have some nasty staff. Suarez odds got wrecked. Yes, they did. Absolutely did. Jubilee a lock? No. I look at Suarez's face and it feels like she wants to say, hey, you guys. I could see that, man. I could see that. Bet Willie Dog money, no reason not to. She's the best woman until she loses. And yeah, that's a case to be made, man. I think Zhang Weili is the best. I know she lost to Rose twice, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Zhang Weili. I think she's incredible. But Suarez could be on another level early on, especially. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Jubilee's going to close plus 700, best value on the card by far, unironically. Yeah, and I do think there's value on him. I can't pick him to win, but the line is wide on Sal, especially when Salkild's making his debut, right? So I get it. Oh, jeez. Some of these comments, man. Some of these comments. Can't even pull them up. Catch him bitten. What? I'm definitely not pulling that up, but yeah, that's a terrible comment, man. That's a terrible thing to say about me. But I mean, everybody has their opinions, and that is what it is. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. It is the main event. If you guys have not already, be sure to smash that like button. Pipe it. Pipe that like button. Pipe it up. Let's get those likes up. To appreciate everybody hanging out. But we got Dricus, Plessis. Oh, let me rephrase that. I appreciate some people hanging out. But yeah, catch him bitten. I don't appreciate you hanging out. I absolutely don't appreciate you hanging out. coming in here, putting a trash comment into my live stream. I appreciate everybody else hanging out tonight. Everybody else but Catch Him Bitten. Catch Him Bitten, I do not appreciate you hanging out. So you can go ahead, get up, and leave. You can get up and leave my damn live stream because I don't want you here. Oh, hey. So I was teasing myself. Yeah, you're cool as well. Nothing's wrong with a little teasing. Catch 'em bitten. You're good and you're good in my book. All good. All good. It's all good. It's all good. Wish I would have saw that before I went off on you, but so he was joking. He was joking. Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with a little joking. Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it. All right. Main event. I like Dricus here, especially with the staff stuff. Initially it's like, how could you watch the first fight and lay minus 225 on Dricus? And I still think the line's wide, right? Like, I think the fight's going to play out competitively, but at the same time, it's like Dricus has literally all the finishing upside. Sean Strickland doesn't seem to be able to finish anybody at this point. Dricus has all the wrestling, all the grappling upside. So Sean Strickland's best case scenario is to win like a close, competitive, split decision type fight, right? And a big, massive point that I made all week is like, yeah, Sean Strickland is outlanding Dricus du Plessis in terms of the significant strike numbers, but there's a massive difference between a Dricus du Plessis significant strike and a Sean Strickland significant strike, right? Like Dricus, this dude's a finisher. He does damage. He looks to end the fight, whereas Strickland, it's a jab teep, right? So yeah, I like Dricus here. I don't have a bet on this fight. I can't really warrant Dricus at minus 225 after seeing the first fight. But if you're looking for a winner, I think Dricus at the end of the day wins the fight. How does he win it? I lean decision, but I don't know. Maybe he does finish Strickland this time around. So I like Dricus to get it done here, but nothing sticking out from a betting perspective. All right. Let's see here. Let's get some money. Is Zhang Weili playable in DFS? Yeah, I think both fighters in that co-main are good looks, right? With Tatiana, you got the early wrestling, early submission potential. And with Zhang Weili, if this fight gets extended, that's when she's going to start having success. She has a big advantage in the striking. She's been 5 rounds. So I think you can make a case for both fighters in the co-main event. I'm personally going to have more Tatiana Suarez. I think she does finish early, but if Zhang Weili can hang in there for 12 and a half minutes, it could get very interesting. Yeah, Strickland plus 5.5. I saw it at minus 135 earlier in the week with so much money coming in on Dricus, though. Maybe the plus 5.5 could be a better line than that. I don't hate that, but just something tells me that we might get a finish in this fight. I just have a weird feeling about this one. Dricus round 3 4 KO. Yeah, like I said, a Dricus finish would not shock me. Brady, what would you say your best money line or money prop of the card is the highest odds? The highest odds I have is Thicknesse 2-3 plus 3,000 and plus 3,300. My favorite prop is probably the fight won't start round 3 in the Crute Bellato fight or the under in the Tafa Teixeira fight. Those are probably my favorite ones. Who's my favorite lock? Yeah, I don't think anybody's a lock per se, but I think Salkilld would be my most confident, but he's a minus 700 favorite. I'm confident in Kong Wang, but really how confident can you be in a WMMA minus 400 favorite? I like Jake Matthews, but Jake Matthews is never a lock. I like Santos, but I think that fight could be competitive. Maybe Dricus, but that fight could be close. Yeah, there's not a ton of money lines I'm that confident in. Will Dricus try to wrestle? Absolutely. Absolutely will. Which fights are going the distance? I think Strickland, Dricus can and will, but I have a weird feeling about that one. I think the Matthews Prado fight probably goes the distance. Santos Jenkins probably goes the distance. I'll say those 3. Matthews Prado, Santos Jenkins, du Plessis, Strickland. and then Jousset, Micallef. So those 4. Other than that, I think we get violence. I think if Strickland tried to wrestle, he'd win. I've seen some people say Strickland might wrestle. I don't know. I would be fairly surprised if he did, but we'll see. A lot of times rematches never play out how the first fight did, so we'll see. We got, is that a Z 500 DK Sniper with the 199. Appreciate you, Sniper. He says, what's the best underdog and who's the worst favorite? So the best underdog, and this is not financial advice, but my favorite underdog this week is Jimmy Crute, which is terrifying, but it's Jimmy Crute for me. I think he's live. I think he's very live. And then who is the worst favorite? Oh, the worst favorite. I think Topuria's line is still too wide, but he probably finishes round 1. Maybe Matthews, just because Matthews is so inconsistent, so untrustworthy. The worst favorite, maybe Taliesin. Maybe Taliesin Teixeira, because he has tall man's defense. Maybe Matthews or Teixeira as the worst. I wouldn't be laying chalk on. Suarez, Gilly, or Darce maybe. The latter is plus 1,600. Yeah, I could see it. She has a nasty Darce. Nasty guillotine. I could see it. Can Crute just wrestle to a decision? Maybe. He's never done that, though. He's never done that. And I don't think he has the fight IQ to do that. I think he's going to stand and strike with this dude. Do you think Willie late sub could be a live prop? Yeah, I'm assuming they're massive numbers. And yeah, I mean, if Tatiana Suarez is completely gassed out, we've seen Rodolfo Vieira get subbed, completely gassed out. All right, we got my guy Avery Marino in the building saying, "Let's go, let's get it, Avery." Shout out to Avery. Had a nice call with him and Weezy, I think last night. Shout out to Avery. You missed if you're just checking in, Avery, you missed a lot. A lot happened this show. Probably one of the more interesting shows I've had. Jeez. Yeah, I don't mind that. Just Steele minus 3.5, minus 130. I don't mind that. Don't mind it. All right, so we'll do a quick recap and then we'll answer any final comments, questions, or concerns that are appropriate to put up. But yeah, Dricus Strickland. I think Dricus wins. Minus 225. Just can't get there. Suarez Zhang. I'll be looking to potentially live bet Zhang Weili after the first couple rounds. I think Suarez early finish makes sense. But if this fight gets extended 12.5 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll be looking to potentially live bet Zhang Weili. But in terms of like a money line, I just can't bet against either of these fighters. Teixeira Tafa, love the under. And I also think Teixeira by sub is sneaky. It's sneaky. It's very sneaky. Bellato Crute. I think Crute's a very live dog. He's the most untrustworthy fighter in UFC history, though. Both these guys walking punching bags. I think somebody gets served. Matthews Prado. I think Matthews probably wins by decision. But Matthews, again, untrustworthy. Not a guy you want to lay a bunch of juice on. Easy pass. If not, take a shot on Prado. Prado finish only. I think at plus money is not bad. Gabriel Santos Jenkins pass. I think Santos probably wins. Close decision. Slava Nolan. I like the fight ends by knockout as a parlay piece. Kong Wang Brazil. I think Wang probably knocks out Brazil. Topuria Thicknesse. I think somebody's getting absolutely served, whether it's Topuria early in the first round. I think that's live, or Thicknesse 2-3 props are also live if he's able to survive. Steele Rongzhu. I think Steele should win if he comes in there with the right game plan, but we'll have to see. Jousset Micallef. I like Jousset. Jousset over 1.5. Jousset round 3 decision. Jousset decision. Salkilld, Jubilee. I think Jubilee gets cooked and finished as the fight goes on, preferably by sub. So, all right. Any final questions, comments, or concerns? Brady, make a 2-3 money line parlay, bro. So I did do a Hail Mary parlay. I'll go through that real quick. So my Hail Mary parlay, 4 legs that I really like. Teixeira Tafa under 1.5. Bellato Crute under 2.5. Slava Nolan fight ends by knockout. And then Jousset and the over 1.5 that came out to plus 606. In terms of a money line parlay, I'd probably throw Dricus in there and probably throw, I don't know, Dricus. Give me Dricus, Santos, and Salkilld. Those three. If I had to make a money line parlay, but I'm not. I don't love a lot of these money lines. Would you rather go on a date? See, this is appropriate. You know, people are asking other things that I can't bring up. So would I rather go on a date with Willie or Suarez? Probably Willie. Probably Zhang Weili if we can get a translator in there, kind of translate what's going on. I think Zhang Weili would be cool to hang out with, right? So I'll say Zhang Weili. I'll go on a date with her. Oh, I mean, I'm just not a big fan of her. Some of these comments. Just not a big fan of her in this match. I mean, she could grapple. If she does, she can make it. She could win, but I think they're going to strike, and I think she's outmatched. But we'll see. Let's see here. So that's something about an OnlyFans. Yeah. I think a date with Willie would be fun. Maybe go out, get some dinner. Maybe I don't want to say see a movie because she probably can't understand what's going on. Maybe bowling. Maybe bowling would be fun. I think a date with Zhang Weili. She seems like a very cool fighter. Very cool. Yeah, appreciate you. All right. Last comment. My guy Dustin. Who do you think scores the highest this weekend, Brady? I think it's Dricus. Dricus scored I think about 120 almost against Strickland the first time. I don't see what's different this time. And then best value on DFS. Best value play on DFS. Looking for some value. I think it's Dricus as well. 8,600. I think he has the highest upside on the slate. I think he can score the highest. I think he has the highest ceiling, and he's 8,600. I'll say Dricus. Best value. If you're looking for somebody cheaper, I mean, there's a lot of like pump plays that's like Thicknesse. Like if he survives 5, he's very live. Prado has a ton of value. This guy has finishing upside. All right, I got to get out of here, guys. This went on far too long. Best of luck, everybody, for UFC 312. Enjoy the fights. Check me out tomorrow for Best Bet, going live at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 hours before these prelims start. The betting breakdown will be posted shortly after this. Check that out as well. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel on your way out. And best of luck, guys. Enjoy the fights, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. See you later.